Citizens are victorious in Wankulukuku. They came from 2 goals down, trailing by 3 goals to 1 in the first 45 minutes, and now going on to win this game by 4 goals to 3. Who will believe that the same KCCA that was trailing by 3 goals to 1 came back to win this game by 4 goals to 3? It's been a night where we have seen goals scored in the Kampala derby. For Express Football Club, they won't believe that they gave it away so cheaply to KCCA. For the Citizens, they actually believed in themselves. They played a perfect game with a lot of anger inside their guts. And that anger and hunger paid off with very, very good football. Who will believe that KCCA came to Wankulukuku and they were trailing by 3-1 and they finished the game by 4 goals to 3? Who will believe? What a night under the skies of Wankulukuku. What a night in the Star Times Uganda Premier League, where heroes are made and clubs are born. This is the rebirth of KCCA. This is the
beautiful pictures from the Mutesa 2 Stadium in Wankulukuku, and that game that happened on the 10th of February. That is Saturday, yesterday. Like I said, at the Mutesa 2 Stadium in Wankulukuku, where KCCFC won that Kampala derby 4-3 after coming from down 3-1 at halftime. What a team and what a derby. Good evening and welcome to the KCCAFC TV show. It is season 5, episode 18 of this show. And my name is Magero Moses Mwanje. Tonight, we deliberate and discuss so much, including the Star Times Uganda Premier League, the FUFA Juniors League, which, by the way, returned today. And also, everything to do with the commissioning of the second phase construction works of the MTN Omondi Stadium. And so much. I don't want to mention everything that we have on the show, but it's a cocktail. And it's a plethora of stuff tonight. Like I said, yours truly, and you and us are definitely walking this journey together. Now, to start off this week's show, we'll start with a social media question that was earlier on flashed or put on all our social media handles, that is Facebook and Twitter. And the question was that what were your thoughts yesterday at halftime with the score 3-1 against Express Football Club? Please don't forget to use that hashtag KCCAFC TV. Now go down to our Facebook page and also on Twitter and comment with what your thoughts were.
They played a perfect game with a lot of anger.
When that game was 3-1 against Express Football Club yesterday at the Mutesa 2 Stadium in Wankulukuku. We'll be able to read all your comments here on the KCCFC TV show. I'm not alone. I'm with your usual suspect, not a very new face on this show. I mean, most times if it's not me, it is him. If it's not him, it's me. If it's not him or I, it's us. But I'm happy to have you, Patrick, once again on the KCCFC TV show.
Thank you.
And
the usual suspects, I know, when I hear the word suspects,
yeah.
I always think of the suspects that Uganda Police Force always. So but you call me the usual suspect. The
usual suspect.
I don't know. Am I a suspect?
No, not the suspect in terms of
crime.
Crime, but well, there is organized. This is a little bit of organized crime, but in a good way. Well, that's Patrick Ocheng, and we'll be breaking down everything and dissecting, deliberating on issues tonight on the KCCFC TV show. Like I said, is not a new face. We normally call it the dynamic duo. Most of you call us different things out there, but yes. We'll kick it off this week, and we'll start with the commissioning works of the second phase of the MTN Omondi Stadium. Now, this function happened on Friday, and that was at the MTN Omondi Stadium, where we were able to host guests, including the Honorable Minister for State, that is Honorable Peter Ogwang, also the KCCFC Executive Director in Madam or Mrs. Dorothy Chisaka, and also the chairman of KCCFC in there together with his board, Engineer Andrew Muchibi Serunjoji, and also the Lord Mayor, who was represented by Honorable Hakim Kiza, and very many other dignitaries and directors from KCCA. They were at the MTN Omondi Stadium on Friday, and this particular event was for commissioning of the second phase works of the MTN Omondi Stadium. Remember that this stadium, the first phase is done. If you've been able to go down to the MTN Omondi Stadium, you can be able to tell what the first phase was like, but that first floor and up to the VIP boxes, that was the first phase. Now the second phase is going to be there, I mean, the next floor after the MTN Omondi's, after the VIP boxes, then the final floor, and then the roofing and the partitioning of that building. Like we always say that pictures tell a better story. And like you can see some of those pictures that are on your screen right now. We're going to be hearing from the chairman of KCCFC, Engineer Andrew Muchibi Serunjoji, and also the KCCA Executive Director, Mrs. Dorothy Chisaka, and the Minister for Sport, Honorable Peter Ogwang, who had something to say during this function. Like we already said, pictures tell a better story. So this is what happened when KCCFC was commissioning the second phase works of the MTN Omondi Stadium on Friday.
They need to see you so that you can assure the congregation that what you did on first phase is actually going to be made much better. Where is your team? So this is the gentleman. He's called, the company is called Sajan Construction. They are the ones who did the first phase. And the evaluation committee to which I was party chose to maintain them because, first of all, they were the lowest. 2, they had a very competitive bid. And 3, we didn't want to cancel the DLP because to get another contractor meant we had to cancel the defects liability period, give them their retention money, and we didn't want to take on that risk. So we said, Sajan, if the foundation was bad, kindly carry it on and continue. Yes, continue with.
Well, that is the chairman of KCCFC, but we also have pictures from the KCCFC Executive Director and also pictures from the Honorable Minister of State for Sport, that is Honorable Peter Ogwang, and we'll be showing you exactly what happened as this stadium was being commissioned at the MTN Omondi Stadium for the second phase works.
I congratulate you for the hard work you've put in. I am a strong supporter of KCCA FC. It's the only jersey I wear, and it is the only match that I watch, and it is the only team I cheer for. Yes, Nalongo cheers, and my household too. My husband is a strong supporter of KCCFC. Yeah. What are we going to do? You've already heard it from the CEO and from the chairman. But for me, I want to emphasize that we are building a smart city together. That is our drive in everything we do. We are not doing it alone, we are doing it together. I have learned by observation that people love sports, people love entertainment, people need spaces to celebrate, and people need spaces to come together. So we are really going to drive so that we achieve this and finish it. But we are doing it together. So we celebrate the partners that we have. Of course, the chief is not a partner, but the owner of the project ultimately is the government of Uganda.
I thank you for the work you've done in phase 1. I hope now we are going to get too many people being in the ground here, because every morning I'm here, I find one person, 2 people. So Mr. Contractor, with effect of Monday, I hope I'll get too many people now working, because we need this facility. What I want to confirm to the country, Madam Edie, I'm told the club needs floodlights as one of the requirements I was given, and the club wants the artificial turf. I want to confirm, as AFCON project, we have taken the 2 requests from Kampala Capital City Authority. And we want to promise you, we will give you what you've requested before at AFCON. Last but not least, my technical team came and measured the playing pitch. They told me it's 98 meters long. But we want 100. So in our planning, if you give us the engineers who are here, 98 is below. 100 is what we want, the minimum. So we will have to sit, and I want to ask your architects
to sit with my technical team engineers under the Ministry and the Ministry of Works to come up with a design which is able to help us have 2 meters as an expansion for the pitch to meet the CAF standard of a minimum of 100 meters running pitch, and then 65 and the rest you meet it. So that is one observation I think that tells you that I'm well informed of what I'm doing, because if I can have those details. So with those many words, Madam Edie, congratulations. Can you clap for my Sabalwanyi? Yoweri Kaguta.
Well, that is Honorable Peter Ogwang, the Minister of State for Sport in Uganda, and pledging his support on behalf of government that the Ministry of Sport or even government will be able to support KCCFC in this project. They're already supporting KCCFC already, and the reason as to why that stadium is able to, or has been able to reach where it is because of the support that we've been able to get from government. And going on to say that the floodlights will be added on what is already there at the MTN Omondi Stadium. Also going on to say that that staff, which is about to, it has lived its days, or its years, and KCCFC now needs a new turf, and the minister coming on to say that because of that Pamoja bid that Uganda won, the MTN Omondi Stadium is one of the stadiums that they hope to use for the AFCON 2027, and he pledged this support in helping in its redevelopment. And Patrick, you are able to be part of this event, so we get to discuss a few things. What caught your eye in this glamorous event on Friday?
I think for me what caught my eye is the speech of the Honorable Minister, the fact that he came out to say that the government is willing to support, and I'm waiting to see if it's going to be changed from artificial turf to natural grass. I don't know. Maybe that is something that will come later in the future. I don't know if the club would accept to change from artificial turf to the natural grass. I feel like the natural grass is much more expensive and hectic to maintain than more than the artificial. And I think for me, this is something that is great for the club and also something that is great for Uganda, not only for KCCA Football Club, because now if the stadium is fit up to where it's supposed to be, and also the expansion of at least 100 meters, like the Honorable Minister said, yes. I think this is something that the fans of KCCA Football Club, the fans of Ugandan football should look at, having a stadium that can now even host CAF games, because if this stadium can pass for the Pamoja bid, yes, to have some CAF trainings there, it means KCCA can then now start hosting CAF games in the stadium. As of now, KCCA cannot host CAF games at the MTN Omondi Stadium. Yeah. Maybe with this in play and this working out, we can now start seeing KCCA make much more money through revenue and everything. And for me, I think that's a plus.
Very big plus, I should say there, and maybe just re-echo some of the things that you said, whether they will have to do away with the turf, some of the requirements for CAF, for a country or stadiums, for a stadium to pass for those tournaments like CAF or AFCON, CHAN, it has to be natural grass. So the fact that KCFC right now has a turf, maybe towards 2027 that turf will be taken away. It only takes about 3 months for that grass to grow.
But I had a discussion previously on Twitter, and people were talking about the Nambole as well, because it's also artificial. And
no, Nambole is natural.
Not Nambole, Nachivubo is artificial. And I remember seeing the FIFA president also coming out to say that people don't know the roles, that maybe the artificial is also allowed, but
for training purposes.
Yeah, for training. So it's a lot of things in the mix. But for me, I think the artificial grass is at a standard for international games.
Obviously, we'll get to host some of these dignitaries, probably the FIFA president on here, and also the Minister for State, and they will be able to expound more on what it takes for a country to host these games, and also stadiums past fit to have tournaments like the AFCON and the CHAN. And the executive director of KCCA, Mrs. Dorothy Chisaka, and also the chairman, coming out to say that they maintain Sajan because he is the one, or that company is the one that had done the first phase works. So it was only good enough that they continue on with the work, and also that they were the best fit compared to other people that submitted their bid. And also the ED coming out to say that he is willing and ready to keep supporting, because she has already supported, to keep supporting KCCA in all its efforts to make sure that stadium is developed. And also a very strong message from the Lord Mayor that was delivered on his behalf. That was Honorable Hakeem Kiza, and who said that in the tenure of the Lord Mayor, this is one of the projects that he has put forward, or number one, he wants to make sure it gets done during this particular term.
Yeah, for me, I think if you look at the reason why I think the stadium is the talk on everyone's mouth right now, if to be honest, if you look at the stadia in the country that one can look at and use for games, Nambola is under renovation, of course. They are still working on it, so it's out. Nachivubu has just been constructed. So we literally had St. Mary's Stadium, Chitende, where also KCCA has been hosting its CAF games from. Now, if you can have the MTN Omondi Stadium also coming up to speed, and actually by 2026, which I know is going to happen because it was put in as one of the stadiums that Uganda would use for training. So for me, I think if the stadium works out, which has to work out, it's a plus for Ugandan football, not only KCCA, for Ugandan football and everyone that supports Uganda.
Well, that is all about the commissioning of the phase 2 works of the MTN Omondi Stadium that happened on Friday. I told you big dignitaries were able to show up on that day, and they've all showed and pledged their support to make sure this stadium is completed at least in the next 8 to 12 months. That is the second phase works. That is the floors that are coming up, then the roofing, and then the partitioning of the different rooms inside that stadium. So, well, in case you're asking what is happening with the stadium, there you are. 8 to 12 months, we shall have at least the full shell of that MTN Omondi Stadium. That is the primary wing. Now, away from the construction works and everything to do with the MTN Omondi Stadium, we dive straight to the Star Times Uganda Premier League, where KCCA FC played match day 17 on Saturday, which is yesterday. And that was the Kampala derby against Express Football Club. To be honest with you, Patrick, for me, in my entire, I should say in my entire life of serving Ugandan football, I've never seen a game like this, where a team is down 3-1 at halftime. And then they go on to win 4-1 at full time.
4-3.
4-3, sorry. I've not seen any game like that in Ugandan football. But just to try to break that down, this game, and I'll just mention a few individuals in that one. Patrick, 4-3 at halftime. What was running through your mind? I know we already asked our fans on social media, but your opinion, 3-1 at halftime.
To be honest, at around the 80th minute, I had already done the full-time graphic showing 3-2 because Shaban.
So your game ends in 82 minutes? You're one of those that don't believe that games end after full-time whistle?
Of course, it's 90 minutes, but you always have to keep updating the score so that you're not late when the referee blows the final whistle. And I felt like if KCCA had to win this game, before you even think of winning, it had to equalize. Luckily enough, we got that goal from Muhammad Shaban with in the 56th minute, actually. So we had over 25 plus minutes to get the third goal and then equalize. And for me, I want to say blessing in disguise is the error from the Express goalkeeper having to net that ball that Mugume Ashraf shot. It wasn't that much of a big shot, but it hit his arm and then was deflected into the back of the net. And I think that is a gift that gave KCCA the morale to keep pushing. At 3-3, I think everyone at the stadium felt that KCCA was going to get the fourth goal. When the third goal entered, I was very sure where I seated. I actually told even people KCCA is most likely to score the fourth goal. And it did happen. So that third goal changed the whole entire thing.
The third goal changed the entire thing. We'll talk about Ashraf Mugume, a player. Well, football is really weird and funny. The previous game, Ashraf Mugume was withdrawn, I think, after 24 minutes against Bull Football Club. He didn't have a very good game on that day, and he also acknowledges that he didn't have a good game. Fast forward, KCCAFC is playing in the Kampala derby against Express, and for me, he was the man of the match. Actually, he was that at the end of the day. But what a game the gentleman had. Two assists. He had a goal for himself. And then we'll also talk about Muhammad Shaban's first goal away in the Uganda Premier League this season. But Mugume first.
I think this game had everything that a football fan, a Ugandan football fan would look out for. And for me, I think also for KCCA football fans, looking at what happened, Ashraf Mugume banging in 2 assists. And by the way, I think his goal was so important to this win because it leveled up things. It leveled up the tie. Had it not been 3-3, it was going to be very hard for KCCA to come up and then win. So Ashraf Mugume there, big up, and he has been, by the way, very solid, and he has been scoring. In the previous games, he scored against UPDF, he scored against SC Villa at this very stadium, Wangulukuku. Yes, then he scored against Wakiso Giants. So he's a guy on form, and I think this is the best Ashraf, the best performance or the best version of Ashraf Mugume that we can have. That is the howler from the keeper that I was saying.
Should be the equalizer in the 87th minute. 3 minutes to the end of that game. And KCCAFC scores and levels matters. And then 2 minutes later, he's scoring the winning goal.
The stadium erupted. At 89.
Well, Ashraf Mugume, like you said, I think is in the form of his life. And I mean, good from him that he was able to pick himself up. I mean, not very many players bounce back from that when you're withdrawn after 24 minutes. In a game against the table leaders that is starting the second round, some of the players could actually drop a shoulder or something. But no, he had to dust off whatever he had to dust off ahead of this one, and he produced a man of the match performance. Then Mohamed Shaban, that goal that came in the 50th minute.
The technique.
I mean, I wish my producer could be able to show us that goal. The second goal for KCCAFC in that game, because halftime is 3-1. Then KCCAFC go on to score
in the 56th
in the
minute.
50th. It was 5 minutes
Yeah,
after
it
the
was.
restart.
It was.
I think Ashraf Mugume's cross.
Yeah, Ashraf Mugume's
And then how Shaban folds his body.
He was actually ahead. The ball was behind him.
I just wish that goal. I know my producer is going to just do something and make sure we are able to see that goal, watch that goal.
Typical number 9.
But that was top
Typical
from
number 9.
Shaban, taking his tally to 9 goals after 17 games. Well, he's not played in all the games, but he's able now. Well, we'll be able to see that one. He's able now to take his tally to 9 goals and is the second top scorer of the StarTimes Uganda Premier League for the season 2023-2024.
That is
well,
the goal.
That should be the goal. Yes, so Ashraf Mugume. And just look at that.
How he folds his head.
It reminds me of the Shaban Mohammed when KCCAFC was qualifying for the CAF Champions League 2018. Yeah, at the MTN Omondi Stadium. That goal against St. George. That is a top-class goal. And like I said, 9 goals for Mohamed Shaban this season, 5 goals for Ashraf Mugume. And then the substitute in there, Osama Arafat, scoring also his 5th goal, just like Ashraf Mugume. And in the 89th minute.
Osama was coming back from an injury.
From an injury, because he missed the previous game. He replaced Luasa in that one.
He got injured, I think, it was a friendly game because he was having in training at
night,
Lugogo. And then Luasa also getting his full debut at the club. Though it didn't work out as many thought. He was then subbed in before the first half got done. And for me, I think Osama did what he was brought to do. He came in, scored the winner, and he's also getting the goals this season, and I hope that we can have more people actually scoring the goals besides Osama, besides Shaban, because when the season began, we had Shaban and Osama taking on each other on the scoring charts. But right now, if you have Katenga in the mix, who is also scoring the goals, then you have Ashraf Mugume scoring. We need some other 2 or 3 people who can start scoring the goals, and I can assure you that KCCA will even stop conceding.
KCCA will stop conceding in that one. That is Patrick saying that, and I'll tell you that Katenga Openga Etienne has the fastest goal in the StarTimes Uganda Premier League this season in the first minute. The fastest goal this season was in the 2nd minute, and Etienne Katenga broke that record for this season, scoring the fastest goal in the 1st minute of the game, and that was in the Kampala derby against Express Football Club. Now, just to tell you how the table stands after this one, after 17 games, KCCAFC has won 7, has drawn 2, has lost 8, has scored 30 goals, and has been able to concede 26 with a goal difference of 4, and with 23 points after 17 games. Well, KCCAFC's next game will be 2 weeks, in the Uganda Premier League, will be 2 weeks from now against Chitara Football Club, and we'll be expounding about that game next week on Sunday. Now, just to still as we try to wind up the StarTimes Uganda Premier League, Achai returning from injury, and he'd missed the previous game. He's had a start and stop season, but now he returns from injury. What do you make of this player?
I think he had a good game. Achai has always been a good player, and I think he was a catalyst in KCCA's Kiza Mustafa, did not, he's a very good player, don't get me wrong, a very good player, but yesterday's game, I want to be honest with you, Achai came on and he had a much better impact than Chiza Mustafa. And I think that is where you want the competition. If you're good enough, if you're a team that is good enough, you need to have players that come in and challenge each other, and that is the best way that you can get the best from the players. And I think Achai being back is a competition at on the left back.
Achai being back, competition at the left back position, but also kudos to everyone that played in that game. I mean, they put their bodies on the line to make sure KCCAFC would get that result in the derby. Now, gentlemen and ladies, we'll be taking a break, but when we return, so much to talk about, including the fan zone, because the fans had something to say from that game, and the social media question, where we'll be reading all your answers from Twitter and Facebook, and also challenge from the players. All this after the break.
natandikira omupiira mu academy awo 1996
kuti half time club nga KCC nga it's a derby day bakulembedde goal 3 kwemu ngate bakuvudde na mabega
naye this time round azemu eno derby it's a new experience for him kuba kati nabo bakitegedde badde bayitawo so almost goals busy to concede zivudde nnyo
era nga wano tumanya win bbiri vira yasooka nakubwa nono agize naye ne tumukima ffe tuliwo okuba bukubi
era gubadde mulungi nnyo ate substitute coach zakoze zitukoledde omulimu nesamba omupiira bulungi kakana nga tufunye obuwanguzi
eno kansoti obotakituka kikulya Fadigo mulabye Fadigo mulabye omwana kyakoze amakati oyo Fadiga muka atalina katenga alabye Usama mumulabye eno kanso kisolo
akayimba kamukubeo kati timu ya kanso kabiri kyokona kabukonyi timu ya kanso kabiri kona kabukonyi
Fasafe against okugwa ngompira express ina 3 KCCA ina goal emu fetwa soso teba era fetu sembyo teba nsaba obulira abalaba olaba changes church tutete okuwangula
omupiira mukusooka gubadde mulungi nenze ngenda kunenya kochi wange okiwulira waliwo omwana gonza oteeka mupiira gwa pressure nga guno nga tolina na kumuwa mupiira toyinza kuba ne magambo katebe nomuleka katebe n'okubiza omwana gwa kajamanda 17 kikola ekyo olabye amakati ndiwaso atuse n'akoowa serunjogi n'abanga eka yasigaddewo wakati ogwo obadde tumuyimbirira leeta mayanja kocha ffe nga tafaayo leeta mayanja tafaayo kutuuka no tumutami.
Well, those are the fans of KCCAFC after that game against Express Football Club, and that was at the MTS Satu Stadium in Wankuluku. Many coming up to say that maybe Wankuluku is KCCAFC's second home because we have got 2 wins from that stadium this season against SC Villa earlier on, that was in the first round, and now against Express Football Club. Well, thank you very much all our fans, and thank you always for participating in the fan zone, and maybe we'll be reaching out to you who has never featured next time when KCCAFC is playing. Now we switch things up and head to the fan zone, sorry, not to the fan zone, but the social media question that we told you earlier on, that is on the KCCAFC TV show, and this question was put on our Facebook and Twitter pages. The question is, what were your thoughts yesterday at halftime with the score 3-1 against Express Football Club? Use that hashtag KCCAFC TV, and we'll start with Twitter. And Mr. Jonah Ivan says, the only hope I had was getting a draw. That's if we started the second half by scoring a goal, which we did. 5 minutes after this restart, we had a goal. The other, well, we'll be reading them. Esomu Simon Peter Obure says, I was watching with Apollo Morgan and told him that game will end in a 7-goal thriller. He kept counting and reminding me about my prediction. Well, we'll call him the octopus, Mr. Simon. Nasrul Taban El Tablaz says, I kept praying for at least a draw when the game was 3-1. That should have been many of the fans yesterday, by the way. Now, then Menya says, now that we won yesterday, admin will be busy for the next few days. Otherwise, the account would be on a forced leave now. No, that is not KCCFC. But thank you very much. And Lowero's Finest says, I'm good at being a sarcastic fan, but literally I froze. Uganda football, I never expected to come back like we have seen on several occasions, a single goal, win a game, but the twist of things, I appreciate the lads and the tactical reforms after the break. Hashtag Kasasiro, that is Lowero's Finest. Happy Gishu says, we need that team that played the second half. Stop doing guesswork on serious match days. That is Happy Gishu, and that is his opinion. You're not using the hashtag KCCAFC TV. Well, as I watched this is Charles saying, as I watched the match live, I was strong that if we increase on the attacks and we substitute Ogwang and Kiza, we had to score more goals. And we can at least get a point because Express weren't good enough in the defense. That is Charles with the Uganda flag on his handle. Do we have any others? Yes, Emma says, I was worried at my goalkeeper. I saw him receiving like 5 goals because the way Express was attacking and our defense was struggling, I was worried of him. Thanks for the subs and the calmness after that win meant everything. And then Openg says, had already left the stadium. That is Openg. I covered my, that is Leantode's Finest says, I covered my TV with a towel and reduced the volume, thinking we were finished. Ukwethungu says, utter disappointment, especially after such a blistering start. Top mental fortitude from the boys coming from 2 goals to win the tie. Hashtag KCCFC TV. Well, those are the opinions from our fans on Twitter. Well, thank you very much for participating in our social media. Because we'll be reading Facebook later on in the show. But I'll tell you that I know very many fans that left the Mutesa 2 Stadium in Wankulukuku after halftime. Now, as they just reach their homes, after about 45 minutes, they get to hear that KCCFC has won that game 4-3. The irony and how football really works. Well, that is everything to do with that game yesterday in the Saturday Uganda Premier League. KCCFC taking on Express Football Club, and the game ending 4-3 in favor of KCCFC. Now, we told you last week that the challenges on the KCCFC TV show are back, and we're serious about that because this week we catch up with 2 of our stars, Emmanuel, Peter, Loki, and Gabi. And this is a very fantastic challenge I'm sure you would love. Have a look.
Yeah. No problem. Let me kill it once and for all. Don't talk. You start. Yeah, I'm going to start. I'm going to kill it. No problem. You see, you change. I part to tell you. Yeah, he's going to tell me. You part tell you what? Yeah, tell me that if 2 are correct. Oh, 2 are correct. Yes. Oh, okay. But it's going to be easy for you after the first half.
Okay, boys, who's going to come first? Loki?
Definitely, I'm going to kill it once and for all. Don't talk. I'm only play.
Okay, let us go. Loki, come. I'll be telling you which ones are right.
Okay. Thank you. This one here. This one here. Here. Here.
Only one is correct.
Oh, very good.
Yes, Gabi. You have the chance. Zero.
No problem.
Even the one that was correct.
No problem. Go certo.
Too much thinking for guesswork.
This is not guesswork. This is something else.
0.
Ay.
Okay, from 1 to 0. Okay, let's go. Only 2 are correct. 2.
Why? My friend. 2.
Only 2 are correct.
You see these guys? You see these guys? Two are correct.
Yeah.
But what you give me experience?
You've got only 2 correct.
No problem, no problem.
Only 2 are correct. You need to change only 2 pieces. Yeah, we go.
Ha.
Now only 1 is correct.
Aye.
Loki changed, it was 2, Loki changed that and he spoiled it. Gabi has won. Gabi has won! Come on.
I mean,
Yes, you win.
fuck. Ah, shit, bro. 1-0. I mean,
Loki,
finish.
Gabi has won. Come and shake hands. It's okay.
You shake, no problem. You come here.
Okay, fair play, huh?
Aye, aye, aye. 1-0.
Shake hands.
Yes. Come my friend, welcome. I'm not to talk, I'm only play.
You only play, huh?
I'm only play.
Okay, no
We
problem.
are going to go for the second time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
second
no
time.
problem. But you see, I mean, win. The first
Yeah, you have 1 win.
I'm going to rearrange, so feel free. This time round, what should I change? What should I change? What should I change? What should I change?
This one, I'm very sure this one I have to take it.
You have to take this.
You can't beat me twice. I can't give it to you all this. Gav. No, this one needs concentration.
No, Pato.
No, he has already changed there. There's no need.
I'm changing, so don't worry. Don't worry, I'm changing. Okay, we go.
You start.
I started the first one. You take this one.
Gabi, you go first.
Fast?
Yeah. Only 1 is correct. Loki, your time. Your turn. Go.
You lose, I mean, win. See, you lose it
Only
now.
1 is correct.
You lose it now.
So either Gabi wins or it's a draw.
Yes, it's okay.
Gabi wins, game down.
Lucky, no pressure, okay?
You cannot take me
No
on this
press,
one.
no pressure.
Only 2 are correct.
So,
Gabi had 1 correct, you have 2 correct. So we go.
2 correct.
Yeah, 2 are correct. Okay. What do you think?
Pato, tell.
Do you think you're correct?
No, yes, the 4.
No, only 2 are correct. Only 2 are correct.
Yeah.
only 2 are correct.
Yes. When you came, 2 are correct. Gabi has come,
2 are correct.
2 are correct.
Ah.
So we need to change only 2 pieces. We go.
You didn't change it.
Too much thinking for guesswork.
No pressure, Manuel.
No, this is not about guesswork.
No pressure,
There's
Manuel.
some-
Easy.
Yeah. Easy.
1-0 for me. Go primero.
You done?
Yeah.
Only 1 is correct.
Okay.
You spoiled some.
Only,
Give way. Gabi says give way. Okay, we go. Gabi has won.
I mean,
man.
Ah!
Shit.
I'm telling you, 2-0.
That's too much, man. Ah.
It's okay, you can come and see.
I'm the best this game. Ay.
Shake hands and
You see, Pato, you put me on pressure. You say that it's too much for. Yeah?
Okay, thank you, my friend.
You have to think here. This is not all about guesswork.
what should the club do for Gabi now that you have won 2-0? Loki, what should the club give Gabi?
I think they should give him a token, maybe.
A token? Like
Yeah.
what? What you say is what we shall give him.
The jersey.
They should give him a jersey for KCCA.
A jersey?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
He says jersey.
Yes.
You
Yes.
have the black, you have the yellow,
So I'm trying to decide the color.
yes. Decide everything. It's you. The loser decides.
Loser decides.
Loser has the power.
So he's taking the privilege of everything. Huh?
Yeah.
We shall get one to give him. Thank you so much.
Yeah, welcome. Yee, my friend. You give me,
Next time you give me another game. This is just the beginning. Next time I'm going to hit him up.
Ay.
I said, thank you.
Ay.
So, Man,
I'm telling this guy, I'm TikTok too much. Every day.
I will get it. It's fine. No problem.
Yeah, this game is TikTok.
Well, what a game and what a challenge. Thank you very much, Peter Emmanuel Loki and Gabi João Esteves Cardoso from Brazil, all the way from Sao Paulo to Kampala, Uganda, and playing at the MTN Omondi Stadium for KCCA Football Club. Now, very interesting challenge, I'm telling you. But I'm sure if we played that challenge, I would win with you. We should play it here on the show. What do you think?
Bring it next Sunday.
Next Sunday.
But make sure you've watched a lot of TikTok because
we'll bring it.
Beat me to it. I'm very lazy on TikTok.
We'll bring it here next week on Sunday. Now switching things a little bit up away from the challenges. The FUFA Juniors League, which returned today, that is on Sunday, and the first game, KCCAFC playing NEC Football Club junior team. That game was at the Bogolovi Coffee Grounds. That is the original home of NEC Football Club before they started renting at the MTN Omondi Stadium with KCCA Football Club. That game ending 1-1, and that was in the FUFA Juniors League. Now to talk about more of that game had a couple, or a very good number of youngsters in there. Luchamuzi Ashraf was the goalkeeper in that one. Oiroth Steven was on the previous KCCAFC Soccer Academy team and makes this year's team too. Walusi Mbiswale, Ijara Brian, Omara Ivan, that was the center back in that one. Oh, that was the defense. Wabwire Amos, Serun George Patrick, and Ogema Thomas were the midfielders. Then the forwards, we had Semunya Alfred, Gatbet Yan, and Musharraf Baker. A number of substitutes in there. Mashud Raphael and Ismail Fahad were introduced later on in that game. That game ending 1-1. That is the first game for KCCAFC in the FUFA Juniors League for the 2024 season. Now, reminder that the FUFA Juniors League started in 2015. KCCAFC has never won the FUFA Juniors League, but it's the club that has produced most stars that are graduates of the FUFA Juniors League that have gone on to play for the KCCAFC senior team or other senior teams in the country, and also gone on to play in the paid ranks out there, either in Africa, Europe, or other parts of the world. And like just some of those pictures that you've been able to see. Well, the FUFA Juniors League will be resuming in 2 weeks. That is for KCCAFC. And on the day we play Chitara Football Club, the other week on Friday, not this coming week, but the other week, that day, the curtain raising game will be KCCAFC versus Chitara, the junior team game, and then the senior team game. Now, away from that, this week on Saturday, KCCAFC will be traveling to Jinja at the Kaki Indu Stadium, where KCCAFC will be playing big league side, but this time in the Stanbic Uganda Cup, Jinja North. Now, Jinja North Football Club is the club that was pitted against KCCAFC in the round of 32 of the 50th edition of the Stanbic Uganda Cup. That game will be on Saturday, so please, citizens, we are boarding on Saturday morning and heading down to Jinja, where we'll be playing Jinja North. No statistics ahead of this one because both clubs have never played each other. But I tell you what, that that side, that is Jinja North, is currently 13th on the big league table, and the FUFA big league table. And now that is the club KCCAFC is going to be playing in the round of 32 of the Stanbic Uganda Cup. Patrick, your thoughts ahead of this one as we go down to read the final comments of Facebook?
My thought is very simple. KCCA is going to progress to the last 16.
KCCAFC will progress to the last 16. That is Patrick's opinion. Now we get to read the comments on Facebook from our earlier asked question on our social media handles, that what were your thoughts when that score was 3-1 in favor of Express Football Club yesterday at the Mutesa 2 Stadium in Wankulukuku. That game ended 4-3 in favor of KCCAFC, but at 3-1, what were your thoughts? Now we're going to be reading your opinions from Facebook that will be shown later on the screen, but as they are being prepared by the producer, Patrick. KCCAFC visiting Jinja North in the round of 32. You get to feel that there is an opportunity for KCCAFC to win some silverware this season. Do you feel this is the best chance we have?
Yeah, this is the best chance. Like I said in the previous show, I feel like it's a long ask for KCCA to win the league this season. If you look at the way we are still struggling, with winning games. We are shipping in very many goals, and I thought this is something that KCCA would work on in the second round. But again, yesterday we conceded 3 goals against Express. It was 0-0 against Bull. So I think it's going to be a hard ask for KCCA to win the league. However, the Stanbic Uganda Cup is a trophy because it's knockout. Apart from, is it the semi-finals where we start playing 2-2 games?
Two legs, yes.
Yeah, semi-finals and the finals. The rest are knockout stages. And for now, KCCA is getting, I wouldn't want to say easy teams to beat, but...
is there an easy team in a cup competition?
Yeah.
Well,
strength-wise.
Shaban Muhammad, do you feel or do you see him extend his tally in the Uganda Cup? He has 2 goals. And,
I actually tip him to be the top scorer of the league. Of the Stanbic Uganda Cup. I know there are those that started scoring. I don't know, do they start counting from round of 64?
Are those teams still in the tournament?
I don't know anyway.
Most of them
I think
might
we're out
be
of
already.
time and we have to tell people good night and get out of here.
Well, we have to tell people good night, but okay, as we read the Facebook answers here, Sendagiri John will be quick here. I thought we were the ones having 3 at halftime. Before I watched closely, he thought that it was KCCAFC with 3 when that game was 3-1. Well, hashtag KCCAFC TV, and that is Matt Martins, who says, I thought we had lost it. Express was attacking well, but finally we did it. Big up to the players and technical bench. And then Senyo Ndomoze says, I thought it was a loss, so let's continue with that fighting spirit. Then Badman Chata says, you have the Brazilian, you have our support. And that should be a wrap. Okay, one more here. Jerome Mukasao says, I honestly thought that we didn't have a chance. Do you think we had a chance?
Yeah. At 3-3, I thought we were going to win it. So that's it for me.
Well, it's a wrap from everybody. And I want to just thank everybody that watches this show every Sunday, 8 p.m. And we'll be back next week on Sunday, same time. Now, for everybody that makes sure this show runs every Sunday at 8 p.m., the production team, the hosts, the co-hosts, we'll say good night and have a very great week.